Welcome to the after show. Please like and subscribe before you start listening. We'll wait. Okay, thank you.
The after show sounds so raunchy. Like back in the day. Like we should have saxophones playing and stuff. You like Skinamax and, you know.
Oh my God, not Skinamax.
After show.
Skinamax. I always thought they were going to go a little further than they went. That's why kids now are so jacked up. Back then, like it was like delayed gratification for things, you know?
Yeah.
Now you just get up on your phone and you're just like zooming in between the legs and stuff. Back then it was like, is that the side of
Never mind if you didn't have Cinemax. And you could only see the squiggly lines, and you had to kind of like decipher what was happening between the squiggly lines.
It built imagination.
Right.
It did.
I
ain't gonna lie. Oh, come on, Pebbles.
Pebbles.
You know what?
I did it with Skinamax, and I did it
absolutely,
and I did it with like wrestling pay-per-views.
Pay-per-views. Oh yeah.
My parents didn't buy them all.
Oh yes.
So like I think that's why my eyes went bad for a while because like it was
trying to focus.
Yeah, you like fix the distortion. You start creating an image out of the distortion. You know,
but the audio was perfect. So you can hear it.
That was the thing. They didn't think to blur out the audio. It was like we're gonna give you the squiggly lines, but you can still hear what's happening.
Yeah,
they didn't think to not.
Pebbles
you
is
all
a shock.
didn't read books, did you?
No.
Not like I probably should have, but no.
I mean, define reading a book. I mean, I read. Sometimes I read
like assigned reading, but never.
Oh,
exactly.
Never for recreation. Now I do.
Right.
Now I do.
I'm glad.
Not as a youngster. I remember the first time I read a book that like had sex in it, and I was like, maybe I'll start reading books.
Right? Like it's surprising how it's like,
but I like the visual.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Yeah.
So Pebble, speaking of reading books, she revealed that right now she's reading. So you know how you have comfort shows and stuff like that, you know, or a comfort movie. You know, now that it's the holiday season, there's a lot of like Christmas movies that I love to watch.
Yes.
But she has a comfort book that she reads.
I do. I mean, it's the same concept as a comfort movie or a comfort, show or whatever.
It's like I get it, but I don't get it.
I was about to say, I agree, but I disagree because, the comfort show or the comfort movie, depending on the length of it, we're looking at anywhere from a half hour to maybe 2 hours or whatever. And then you're comforted. A comfort book is like, you got to commit. Now you're like, I need to be comforted for the next couple of weeks, depending on how much.
Right. It's a longer commitment than just a half an hour but that's not. I mean, shouldn't anything that brings you comfort, like, honestly, I've read this book a million times. Like, it came out in 2012. It's The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. And it's about a girl that has cancer.
Yep.
Teenage girl. Which
that brings you comfort?
Which does not seem like
does she survive?
Comfort, which does not seem like a comfort.
She dies?
Exactly.
And that's
I did not say she dies. No, I'm not going to give anything away. But it is a very comforting book in the themes and the values. It's just, it's an incredible book.
See, when I read books, most of the time, I can't visualize it in my mind.
What?
Are you serious?
Yeah, it literally is just words. And that's why it's a struggle. But there are some books where that does happen. But 96% of the time,
why do you
I
think
don't.
that's such
crazy.
outrage from people when the book doesn't,
So I was
when the
one.
movie
Right.
doesn't?
So you see it, you visualize.
yeah.
it.
I just can't believe that you don't. I've
Yeah,
never
that's
heard.
crazy.
Like,
I didn't think anybody did. People didn't.
Yeah, like I've heard of like people who think differently. Like some people are verbal thinkers. I'm more like in my head. I'm hearing thoughts. Some people are more like they pictures they get. I more hear stuff. But like as far as reading, yeah, like Pebbles was saying, like whenever there's like a movie or something that comes out according to a book, some people get mad because they're like, that's not what blank looks like. And it's like, that's not what blank looks like in your head.
Yeah.
But
someone
else will be like, yeah, that's kind of like what I pictured, but what the hell?
That's crazy.
No, I see
You have a
that
disorder.
I see it with music. Oh, I can listen to all types of music because I visualize.
See, I don't visualize.
But from reading,
what do you visualize? Like what, notes? Or?
No, it's like it could be a scene. It could be a moment from the past. It could be the future. It could be.
I was the only one.
Yeah,
that did
it could
that.
be an entire movie scene that doesn't exist, but I create in my head due to the music. Yeah.
Me too. Do you sometimes picture yourself doing the scenes?
Not really. Not really. But take like symphony music, which a lot of people find boring, but I'll listen to it and I might visualize, I might see someone or something flying through the clouds and
See,
the
I
story.
don't visualize,
but just not with books.
But I definitely get emotional. Like I definitely tune into different emotions from music. But to think, usually it's just like if I've seen a music video that goes with the song, or if it was in a movie, like that scene will go through my head. But like on my own, I don't think that's ever happened.
I will visualize an entire video movie scene that doesn't exist. I'll create it in my head to certain songs. It's awesome. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to think if I do that.
So if you're shocked that I don't see something when reading a book and Pebbles does, why are you shocked that she finds comfort in it?
Well, because of the time commitment.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I when I think of comfort stuff, it's usually like you want something to comfort you in pretty much as little time as possible. You know what I'm saying? So with the book, I'm like, damn, now you got to read up to a certain point, then you got to commit again tomorrow. Like you're making the crappy emotions kind of like linger because you have to finish the book.
Oh my!
And you know what's funny?
He says it like it's a bad thing. But you know what? Going back to the question you just asked Ramiro, I think that there's a difference in music and books. Like, well, I guess if there's lyrics, I understand that because books are lyrical. I mean, it's writing, it's whatever. But you're talking about just music like instrumentals too, correct? Yeah, see, that's different for me because it's laid out when you have a book. Like they'll explain what a scene looks like or whatever, and then your imagination takes it to another level. But to see music, I'm gonna have to try it. I really am. Now I feel like I need to try it.
I listened to Miles Davis on the way in,
instrument.
and I know there's people who be like, Miles Davis, and I don't listen to Miles Davis on a regular basis. But I caught some last night, and then I listened to it on the way into work, and I literally visualized being in a coffee shop and like, sipping on coffee. It's like things like that, and I just drove in.
I got a vivid imagination. I'm talking about like I'll visualize like let's say if it's like a hard rock song or something, I'll visualize like a zombie movie. And I'm like in a mall getting chased, and then with the people, and then I end up rescuing everybody by fighting off the zombie. Oh, it's the absolute most vivid, ridiculous. Oh,
but because that's in a, let's say, 4 to 5 minute span, you think that makes sense when it comes to comfort, but not a book reading because it takes so much time.
I don't do it for comfort. It's just I do it because I'm crazy. But no, the comfort thing it's literally just that. And also the reading, like I like self-help books and stuff like that, and I'll go back and read certain chapters or passages, but like a story,
yes,
I don't think I've ever read a book more than once. Like that's like I love the oh my God, what's his name?
Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code. Oh my God, yes,
Dang.
you were reading my
I've
mind.
heard you talk about it.
Yeah,
before.
and by the way, he has a new book that it's in my queue. The next thing I'm going to read, but I love that guy's books. I read them once and then I'm good.
Really?
Yeah, I'll finish it and be like, that was freaking amazing. I'll recommend it to everybody, but I'll never go back and read it again.
See, with this book, I've felt like this year's been really like, it's just felt very chaotic. And I'm a reader, but I have read very few books this year. And so as the year's like closing out, I'm just sitting here like, God, I haven't read that much. And, I'm feeling kind of crazy with the holidays. And I'm like, I feel like I need something to ground me. And so I felt like I need to go back to this book. And usually, like when I read it, I'm like flying through it because I love the story so much. But this time I'm like reading a chapter and then like waiting and like I'm trying to just like read a chapter before bed or whatever. And you talk about like the self-help books or whatever. Like these are like self-help to me too. Like as I'm reading it, this is the copy that I've been reading forever, and I have underlined quotes and just different lines that resonate with me. And it's funny that even after all these times, I'm going back and adding new things that I want to highlight.
Let me ask you this. Do you think there's a difference between reading the same book a million times and watching the same movie a million times?
Yeah.
Because I like
the movie's shorter.
Yeah, but people make fun of me for watching the same movies a million times.
But I think
what's
the reasoning
difference?
behind it and why you do it, I think is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the things that bring you comfort bring you comfort. And I think with a book, you have to be more engaged because you're actually reading.
Yeah.
With comfort shows, a lot of times people have them in the background.
Background noise, yes.
So I think there's a difference. But it still kind of gives you that same, like, oh, God, I needed this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a hug. Like my books hug. When I have a really special book, I hug it at the end when I'm done with it.
Wow.
Because they hug me,
Today
so
I
I have
feel-
to hug them.
Pebs, you need to make a video of yourself doing that. Just do that.
I do have pictures of myself hugging. my
Okay.
book.
Like thanking it.
Yes.
Right.
Great. Can I just tell you one more thing about this particular book?
You don't have to stop. I want to hear more and more.
No, this book is so special to me that every time that I travel somewhere, you know how you get a tattoo wherever you travel? I get a book. I get this book in the language of where I am. So I have it in Spanish. I have it in French. I have it in Dutch. I have it in Chinese. I have it in... And I got it when I went and got it in Korea.
I love that. I love it because if you got, I mean, it'd be cool if you got like a book just from every place, but getting the same book in different languages.
I know. And the covers are all different.
Yeah.
And it's like a hunt to get them sometimes.
Yeah.
Like the one in Hong Kong, that was like really hard to get. But yeah. And then my goal is to be able to read the one in Korean once I've
I mean, even if you can, you can probably like stumble through it. Most likely, like you're gonna be like, okay, this is the part where
I know,
she gets sick, and here's the part where she dies, and it's comforting.
Oh,
it's like one of my prized possessions in life.
Were you worried the movie was going to ruin?
No, I knew I was going to love it no matter what. And once I saw the casting, I'm like, even though they looked very different, I knew I was going to love it, and it was really good. And I watched the movie a lot.
That's great. I'm trying to think.
I can't believe you've never read books.
Like over and over again.
Except kids' books, because I'm sure you've read those over and over to the kids.
Yeah. I think it's like not a, well, I guess if you break it down to the most basic thing, it's like a boredom thing. Like I'm like, I almost feel like
you already know it?
Yeah, in a way. It's like and I do watch, there are movies and stuff that I'll watch, like if something's on that I've seen before and I'm like, oh, I love this movie, I'll put it on. But I don't necessarily, like, if I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch a movie outside of now because it's the holiday season and we watch a bunch of Christmas movies all holidays. I don't necessarily go like, oh, I want to watch this movie that I've seen a bunch of times over. I'd rather... I'm more engaged if I'm like, okay, what's going to happen next? Oh, what's he doing?
But you know what you have to think about? And this is for everybody. When you watch a show and you go back, especially if you haven't seen it for a while, you're watching it as, I don't want to say as a different person, but it's who you are right now, like, and what you're going through. And because I know that from the first time that I read it, it's very different from who I am now. And it just, even though it brings me the same comfort, it feels different. It feels different. I know it's weird.
Is that the only book you do that with, or do you have others?
I can't remember. There's probably others that I've read at least a couple times, but this is my one that I read over and over. And a lot of people have done it with like the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
That they've read them over and over. And yeah.
I've even thought, now I think, the more I think about it, I'm like, there are books that were like required reading, I guess, that when I was younger that I read. And as an adult, there have been instances where I'm like, kind of like where you were saying, I'm like, I think if I read that book now, I would get it more.
You didn't appreciate it then.
I didn't, because I was kind of like forced to read it, and then it turned out to be a cool story. But I always talk myself out of reading it because somewhere deep down I'm like, I already read it.
But don't you think if you read the Da Vinci Code now, when's the last time you read it?
Oh my God, probably
when it came out, or
soon after it first came out.
Yeah, like I wonder if your perspective on it, like, because you've grown a lot since then, if that would have changed how you feel about it and about the concepts in it, or
maybe. But I'm talking about like when I was like Tale of Two Cities. I'm talking about, there was this book that was. Have you ever heard of Flowers for Algernon?
Yes.
Flowers for Algernon?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of that one, Leroy? Melissa? You guys?
That title.
Yeah.
It rings a bell to me.
Everyone's like, I remember I was supposed to read it in the summer, but I never did.
That's probably what it is. It was probably on my mandatory reading list, but I don't think I ever read it.
It was the most crazy, and that's one that I always think about. I'm like, should I like reread that? So it was this dude, right? He was like a special needs dude. It was a lady who was doing experiments on a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Made the mouse super freaking smart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving it a really short synopsis of a really good book. Finds this special needs dude, gives him the same, medicine, and he starts getting smarter. But the book is written from the guy's perspective, right? So the beginning of the book, it's all like, kind of like when a little kid is writing, and you kind of have to like figure out what they're writing because the words are spelled backwards and the sentences are choppy. As the book goes along, the grammar starts improving because the dude's getting smarter.
Yeah.
Then, like, towards like the middle, middle going to the second half of the book, freaking, the guy's brilliant. But he starts noticing that the mouse is getting dumb again. So now, as the book goes along, you start seeing the grammar deteriorate and all that stuff. And by the end of the book, it's as bad as it was in the beginning. And I think there might even be a movie about it, but I feel like the movie wouldn't hit as much as the book because of the way the book was written and the guys.
They never do.
Yeah, like unless like the movie was narrated by the dude or something. It was. I remember I read that book and I was like, this book's freaking amazing. And now as an adult, every now and then I'm like, I should go back and read that book because it was really good. And
the books are always better than the movies for this exact same reason you guys are talking about, imagination. Like as you read it, like
somebody doesn't have one though.
Now when it comes, I like, I've read and I enjoyed like Who Killed JFK, Who Killed Abraham Lincoln, books like that.
More historical
stuff. But if you get fantasy and I'm like,
So you all don't read fiction. Fiction is...
The only fiction I read is Dan Brown.
Oh,
that's it, and that's all.
man.
And I think I like it because it's fiction, but he bases it on real things. So like you're like, oh, if I'm ever in Italy, I'll go visit blah, 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 that thing he's talking about. Yeah.
I'm with you. I think James and the Giant Peach will probably be better if I read it now compared to in school they made us read it, and I was like, I don't want to read that.
You're reading it like a job. You're like,
what's the Shakespeare? What's the one they made everybody read? The
Romeo and Juliet?
Romeo and Juliet, and then there was another one. There was Macbeth. Oh my God, that was torture.
I remember Tale of Two Cities, and I'm like, this book is long and it sucks. And then at the end, I'm like, yo, the dude sacrificed himself.
Macbeth.
That's crazy. Anyway, Melissa, do you want to chime in with any books that you recommend?
No, the last book I remember reading is
TV Guide.
No,
a sports book.
No, 50 Shades of Grey, the trilogy.
No,
you know what? She's on to something, because you know what book had my full undivided attention? Wasn't 50 Shades, but the Superhead book.
Oh yes, I did read that.
There was a book one time years ago that I forget what the book was, but Melissa was like, no, I'm really going to read this book. And we knew she wasn't going to read it because it wasn't like a gossipy book like that. So it was a hardcover, but like, you know how you can like remove the covers of books of the hardcovers?
Oh, yeah.
We took the cover of that book.
Rebels, I think you got it for me as a gift. It was a cheer book.
Hardcover book.
Yeah, she never
left it on the desk. Every day we're like, yo, did you read that book yet? You read that book yet? No, I'm gonna. Months went by. And we're like,
why do you care so much if I read this book?
Not only did she not read it, she never opened it because she
Never
never
noticed,
realized that it wasn't the same book.
You did read the Leah Remini book.
I did. And I also read another book that I believe you got me. It was like a teenage love book, and I loved it. And it was a series, and I stopped after the first one. But it was a really good book, and I forget the name of it. But it was good.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.